Welcome back, everybody, to the industry podcast, Call Yourself a Wholesaler by Lamps Electrical. My name is Joe Burrows, and I'm back again for episode 2. I just wanted to start on episode 1, really, because episode 1 we felt went really well, and the feedback we've had from it has been really good. So I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate everybody that's given us some feedback. And I just wanted to reiterate the point of this is not necessarily a podcast to promote lamps. This is a podcast not only to promote lamps, but also to help everybody in the industry and to give you some ideas of what's out there. And that's why we started with the EIC, the Electrical Industries Charity, because I don't think enough people know about the charity that is available to us in this industry, including our customers. So I thought it was a good starting point. Thanks everybody for the feedback. And off we go into episode 2. I wanted to touch very quickly on a couple of things, just around about what we're doing in lamps as a promotional activity, but also what our buying group that we're a member of, AWEBB, can offer our customers. So what are we doing at lamps at this present moment in time on promotions? I briefly mentioned it in episode 1, and we are currently running a fantastic Euro 2024 promotion. The promotion started on the 14th of June and it runs right up until Saturday, the 13th of July. So still plenty of time for everybody to get involved. Just to give you an idea of how the promotion works, we have generated 24 kits. And by kits, I mean product packs from our key supportive suppliers. And all you need to do as a customer, when you're in our branches, collecting materials anyway, is just view what kits are available to you and see if they suit what job you're going to that day or what job you may be going to later on in that week or that month. All of the details for our promotion are on our TVs in the branches, so you'll be able to see them when you go into the counters. Please look up and take a look, or at least ask the guys behind the counter to give you the details. So, as I said, finishes on the 13th of July. Go into the branches, ask the question, purchase one of the kits, and you'll be entered into the prize draw. Now, drum roll. Some fantastic prizes up for grabs. You will be entered into a draw to win a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch. There is 8 £50 one-for-all shopping vouchers to be won as well. But my favourite prize of the lot is winning tickets to a private box at Wembley Stadium. So, moving on to the member group called AWEBB that lamps are a member of. Now, a lot of people may not know or don't understand necessarily how independent wholesalers maintain and keep in business, but also buy extremely well and competitively well. Hence why independent wholesalers across the UK are able to compete when it comes to quoting. And there's one reason for that, really, and that's the AWEBB buying group or other buying groups across the country. Now, the AWEBB buying group, just to give you an idea of the scale of the group, and I'll go into a bit more details in a moment, but the AWEBB buying group has over 100 members, which effectively is 100 independent wholesalers nationwide and Ireland that are members of this group. Within those 100 members, there are over 270 branches available at our customers' disposal anywhere around the country. So what this does is this simply puts us into the size of a national wholesaler, hence why we can buy so well. But the point I wanted to get across today to our customers certainly is around the fact that lamps is in the home counties and West London, Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire, soon to be Berkshire with Reading and West London. But it doesn't stop there. Because of the AWEBB buying group and the members that we have access to, our customers can go into any branch across the whole of the UK and double book their materials back to their local lamps branch. So anywhere across the country that you are working, you can go into any of those locations and you can pick up your materials, which are double booked back to your local lamps branch that you deal with day in, day out, and we manage the invoicing and everything for you from there. So how do you do it? So there is an app available, which I'll get to in a moment. But online, if you go to www.myelectracentre.co.uk location dash finder. You will then find the location finder there. All you need to do is search your location, where you are, and it will bring up your local independent wholesalers. Then you pop in and you pick your materials up. Lastly, on this with AWEBB, AWEBB are currently running their Vantastic promotion. This happens every single year, and it gives our contractors the opportunity to win a Peugeot partner sign-written van. So there are 3 steps to enter the competition to win the van. Step 1, spend £250 or more on a mix of product from our participating suppliers. Step 2, follow 2 of the 4 Electrocentre social media platforms, and that can be found via Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Twitter. And step 3 was to download the Electrocentre app. Once you've downloaded the app, you will also have the location finder at your disposal. So if you are working in Birmingham, Manchester, Wales, etc., you can type in the town where you are, and it will give you the closest AWEBB member independent wholesaler to go to. And as I said earlier, that will be double booked back through your local lamps. So our episodes are all around raising awareness in the industry. Episode 2, we've invited a supplier along. Lumi Plug-in is a sealing solution provider for a domestic, commercial, residential, or industrial project that makes your sealing look consistent with the same product. A fantastic product that, again, nobody knows a lot about. So let's go into the guest part of the podcast. Okay, so our second guest of Call Yourself a Wholesaler, I'd like to introduce to the podcast Greg Speed from Lumi Plug-in. Hi, Greg. How you doing?
Hi, Joe. Yeah, really good. Thank you.
Good. So, obviously, only our second podcast, and you're our second guest, but you are our first supplier. So, this could be an interesting one in terms of what we can bring to our customers today. So, Lumi Plug-in. I would imagine not a lot of our customers have heard too much about Lumi Plug-in. So, and obviously there's a reason for you coming on. So tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, Greg, your background and what you do.
Yeah, definitely. So, look, it's really hard to explain what Lumi Plug-in does, I suppose, without a bit of, product in the flesh, that sort of thing, because there's a lot to it. And it might be a case that we overcomplicate it a little bit, but a little bit on me. So I come from a certification background. I started life testing fire safety products. So, as you can imagine, best job in the world, setting light to things and trying to put it out. As a youngster, that's probably the best thing you could do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I come from that world, which is a different kind of world. It was a company called LPCB, who are part of the BRE group. So in Watford, for those of you that know, and actually, there's a really cool story behind it, because that is where I first saw Lumi Plug-in. So I first saw Lumi Plug-in in BRE back in it's probably 2015. 2016, something like that, and this kind of comes into what who Lumi Plug-in are, because Bob, our owner founder, came to BRE to get third-party accreditation. Right, so brand new product. We're doing something very different, which I'll explain in a minute. I had to get accreditation from the industry to prove what we're doing is compliant. Right, so that's the first time.
So really important.
Yeah, really important. It costs lots of money, by the way. And the thing is, what's really cool about it is, I worked with a team at BRE. I went on to different things at BRE, but what's really cool is there was a lot of excitement around Lumi Plug-in, and that kind of opened up my eyes straight away. So that's my first introduction to Lumi. Thought, fantastic, this is really cool. So I would then, in the world of sales, I had to kind of, move geographically. So there's different factors as to why I left BRE, and into the world of sales. I was working with manufacturers who had been working alongside BRE to test and improve products. So that was manual fire safety products. I won't bore you with that. And then Lumi came to the market. So to give you some background to Lumi Plug-in, the idea was born around 2014. So Bob, being ex-fire service. The reason Lumi Plug-in exists is because of the difficulties the industry kind of faced at the time, where Bob would act as a fire safety consultant on different projects, and there would be a constant argument for space in the ceiling. So we refer to that as ceiling clutter, right? That is different services, different products, cluttered up the ceiling space. And there would be this fight between the services, between sprinkler contractor fighting for, obviously the sprinkler takes precedent in the ceiling. You know, there wouldn't be too much of an argument there, but definitely when it comes to the architect, where they want to put their lights, where emergency lighting needs to sit, etc., etc. And then trying to piece all of that together.
So it's not solely based around fire product. This is a complete ceiling fix ultimately, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah. And naturally, you know, there's a good background of fire from Lumi Plug-in, but Lumi Plug-in as a whole is tackling what we call ceiling clutter. So we've taken away what is the most predominant thing in the ceiling, being your light.
Yeah.
So Bob's designed a downlight that is a halo downlight, which incorporates the hole straight through the middle. Okay, so each downlight is the same, and therefore you can go ahead and incorporate a various plug-in at any one downlight. So it could be a sprinkler head. It could be a Part 6, 5839 Part 6 smoke or heat alarm.
Yeah.
It could be a PIR sensor, and it could be an emergency. So the initial benefit is we want to provide the industry a better ceiling space. The reason we do it is because we want an easier process getting there.
Yeah.
So we want to make the install super simple. Yeah, each product's pre-wired, so you're installing technically, you know, making good at one junction box, not two. You know, we're providing just simplicity to the install side of things. Without trying to tick too many boxes, we want to tick the correct boxes, if that makes sense.
So I've just to familiarise ourselves a little bit and visualise it. So you'll walk into a restaurant now and you'll see track lighting on the ceiling, you'll see some pendants drop in, you'll see smoke alarm, emergency light, etc. Your solution is consistency across the ceiling, reducing, as you say, that clutter, but it's giving the contractor the adaptability to buy a product, take something out of it, let's say, and put a smoke alarm in, and everything still remains the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's providing that versatility, flexibility, but simplicity.
Yeah.
Because everything's standardized there. Everything in your ceiling is the same hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got one hole saw, everything you're seeing is one hole. And we can put values to things, so we can demonstrate to contractors what this might benefit them in time and money.
Yes.
Because, you know, from an estimator's point of view, you know, if you're estimating a project, a scheme, whatever it might be, we can work out some of those benefits for them.
Yeah.
We might save a contractor 3 hours per an apartment or a house just by reducing products and standardizing it.
Because if you think about it, it's not just commercial, is it? It's your own house. You know, you walk into your kitchen and you'll have a smoke or a heat, you'll have your downlighters, etc. Yeah. And this gives that consistent look across the ceiling. So just quickly on the product before I move into the design and, like you say, the estimator's side, because there is benefits to that massively. The product, I've seen it, it looks great. So the Halo downlighter looks really smart, attractive fitting for both a commercial job and also your domestic, as I say, in the house. What about the lux levels, and is there an element where this light fitting can, as you say, save labour time because of the amount of output it gives?
Yeah, so, you know, if you look at a downlight spec on paper, the one thing that our light has to be is flexible. Yeah, so our light is, I'd refer to it as a punchy light. You know, it's got 600 lumen, which is unusual, but the big difference is it's got 100-degree beam angle.
So 600 lumens, 100-degree beam.
Yeah. So you know, we're able to light up the room, potentially light up the room with less downlights. That's the first thing we do in the ceiling space. Then we go ahead and incorporate maybe a smoke or a heat alarm to that room, maybe a sprinkler design to that room. So the idea is we take everything else out of the ceiling and provide it as one product.
And just to reiterate for our listeners, that's in the same can, same cutout hole, no messing, no cutting, no chopping, nothing. It's exactly the same.
To give you an example, I was at a site 2 weeks ago. Client changed the GAs, the drawings to the site. The kitchen completely changed and made the heat alarm in the wrong place. It was too close to a standing oven. Yeah. So all the contractor had to do was take that heat alarm out of that downlight and put it in the next best downlight.
Brilliant. And that would have been on the other side of the room or wherever.
Took 5 minutes.
Yeah. Incredible. Okay. So that's quite unique. Absolutely. It's a unique solution, should we say, to a room.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Lumi, we've had to kind of establish a market. So no one else does what Lumi does or provides what we provide. So we've had a bit of a task, to try and create a bit of a market in different ways. We've had to provide a good offering to the end user, the person who's going to use Lumi Plug-in. We've had to provide an offering, education to obviously contractors that are installing Lumi Plug-in. That's vital.
Yeah.
So quite a tall ask. As soon as you bring something new into the market, that's changing tradition. There's a lot of work involved, but it's good. It's rewarding. Right?
Brilliant. So in terms of what you offer as a business, when you mentioned about estimators, saving them time and design and stuff. So what can Lumi do for our contractors in terms of design and obviously saving time on an estimation package, but also how can you help them on their site and sort of in terms of what Greg can do, what can you bring to the contractor daily?
Yeah, no, really good point. So, we've spent a lot of time now trying to sort of showcase Lumi Plug-in. Now we've been spending a lot of time in that value add department, I suppose.
Yeah.
In not just being a product or a supplier, but really generating those partnerships, whether that be with yourself, Joe, as a wholesaler, or whether that be with a contractor. It's actually trying to find ways in which we can make your life better or the contractor's life better. So yeah, at the moment, we provide a full RCP design service, so we can produce lighting design, fire alarm design, initial sprinkler layouts,
right?
All of those sorts of things. We can provide that, and very much education. Yep. So if you look at our SLAs, we'll provide an account manager to a customer. They will do anything from site visits to design coordination with the consultant on behalf of the contractor, and just understanding what we need to do. And the good thing about being new, and this is the culture I want to kind of keep in place with Lumi, or we want to keep in place with Lumi when we scale, is the agility side of things.
Yeah.
We want to be able to offer different things at different times as the market changes, as contractors need, and the industry changes. So you can
do the full package. It's not up to the contractor to go to site and do all this work. You guys as Lumi, you will go out and do the full thing. And then following that meeting on the site, a design, I presume, will be made, created. Yeah. And that then gets issued to the contractor or the developer, yeah? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, a full drawing package will be provided to either the developer or the contractor, depending on who the ERs are with, etc. But as you can imagine, we got quite a lot of different services within Lumi. So instead of trying to be, it sounds a bit of jack of all trades, master of none, but we understand fire alarms, we understand lighting, we understand sprinklers. We're going to be producing, the development of Lumi is huge, so the scale is huge. We're going to be going down the ventilation route. So we're going to be having expertise in all of these services. Yeah. So we can generate a package bespoke to whoever needs it, or what that might be.
Fantastic. As I say, it's a unique product, but as well as that, it's a unique service. Yeah. In terms of what you're offering. Yes, lighting design is out there, but this is, like you say, sprinkler systems. This is smoke alarms and lighting all in the same thing. So yeah, really, really good. Hopefully for our listeners that's going to give them a very quick, but it will give them a decent overview of what you can offer. Yeah. So have you got any live examples? Obviously we've had some dealings recently, haven't we? So give us a bit of a background on that particular job and what that was all about, so our listeners can understand an actual real example.
Yep. So again, like I mentioned earlier, establishing our own market has been quite difficult, but we have a lot of various customers, clients. That has been anything from a housing association, believe it or not. We're quite an expensive product on paper, but they've benefited from it in other ways. Yeah. To penthouse apartments in Sandbanks, because they don't want big ugly smoke alarms.
Not your penthouse apartment.
No. I wish one day. One day. So establishing that's been really hard, and we've greatly worked on a project over at John Radcliffe Hospital, supplying everything electrical, sprinklers. Brilliant. Doing exactly what we've just said. And kudos to your team, Joe. It's been great having the kind of service levels that you've provided, and I think that's really important from a supplier. It's funny, as an industry we don't do it, but having what I would call as an integrator from a manufacturer's point of view, is having someone who can take a product and integrate it in the market that they know really well. You guys have done that, so kudos to you and your team, and I think that's really important for a manufacturer now.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, and the scale of it's been multiple apartment blocks, in-house design. Yeah, I benefited from everything we've just
absolutely. And
explained.
and as I say, we've had experience of it recently on that particular job, and that was a residential job. And I will say that nothing went wrong. No. From the design point to the delivery point to now the supply point, and everything went swimmingly well. So again, credit to you from our real experience from what that did. So fantastic. And in terms of Lumi's website and contact details, how do our contractors go about sort of looking into this a bit further?
Yep, reach out to us. You'll find everything on our website, from information, the whole downloadables, etc. Some of the work we've done previously, but get in touch. LumiPlugin.com. You'll find my contact details on there. Our general contact details on there. But it'd be great to hear from you. Feedback as well, right? Is really important.
Absolutely.
Please get in touch. That'd be really good.
Fantastic. And I think, absolutely, guys, those listeners, go to the Lumi Plug-in website just to experience what the product can actually do. Lamps is an approved distributor of Lumi products now, and we're working closely with them. So please, again, speak to your local branch, your local representative. But as well as that, go and view the website and try and contact Greg yourself. If you've got any designs or anything residentially, or as Greg said, even a hospital, a school, whatever it may be, then please just reach out and we can try and help you on that. So Greg, just time's nearly up. So just to finish off on a couple of things, we always do this in every episode, and just a couple of questions. So beer or wine? Depends,
I think. It's got to be wine at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Summer months,
Yeah. Wine at the moment. I think too many sessions on beer has probably put me off for a little while. Yeah.
This is an interesting one. Bikes or cars?
That's a very good question. I like everything motorsport. 2 wheels though, predominantly. Yeah. So it's bikes. Yeah. So
2 wheels. And why did I say interesting?
Because I'm actually sat here as a wounded soldier. So a little bit handicapped at the moment. I do a bit of bike racing. Decided it was a good idea to have a crash and get collected by another bike. And so sitting here with 4 fractured ribs, broken arm.
Blimey.
Looking for loads of sympathy. So if you want to reach out and give me sympathy sponsorship, please.
Sympathy for Greg, everybody. Yeah. And then last one, Family Guy or Simpsons?
So it's going to have to be later life Family Guy, probably because now I understand the jokes.
Yeah.
Early life Simpsons. Probably because that's what Mum and Dad let me watch.
Politician's answer, yeah?
Politician's answer.
Absolute Family Guy all day long for me. Greg, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for a short insight on the company, yourself, and what the product can bring. I think just to finish from my point of view, with experience of this recently and seeing the product, this is a good solution for space, for aesthetics, to make things look good. And as you say, to stop the clutter. So it's definitely worth listeners going to have a little look at this website, because it's surprising what you'll see. But thanks for your time, Greg. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 2 of Call Yourself a Wholesaler, the industry podcast by Lamps Electrical. Please do visit our social media platforms, our LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter platforms. And please also go online and visit our website, lampsltd.co.uk. Thank you for listening, and I hope you're looking forward to episode 3.